Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about, did I miss God's will in my life? It's kind of like a sequel to the last video about, is singleness a punishment? This one is a continuation. Did I miss God's will in my life? Have you ever sat there and thought, what if I messed it all up? Like one wrong decision, one relationship, one moment of disobedience, and now you've completely missed God's will for your life. Yeah, me too. There's a fear that creeps in sometimes that maybe God had a plan for you and that you somehow disqualified it from your life, because of the relationship you stayed in for too long, or because of the opportunities you didn't take, or because you knew what God was asking of you and you chose not to do it. And now you're left wondering, did I miss it? Like, some of us didn't just fall into the wrong relationships. Some of us stayed in the wrong relationships after knowing they were wrong for us for way too long. Even after feeling that nudge, that conviction, that quiet voice that says, he's not it, he's not for you. This relationship is not for you. And yet you kept ignoring it. Does that sound familiar? Hoping they would change, hoping that the situation will change after this and that. And now that we look back into those situations, into those relationships, now that we're not in them, it's easy to see where we lost track, or where we fell short, or where we decided to ignore the prompting. And then we start to think, yeah, those decisions in my life has caused me to be where I am today. But here's the truth. God isn't sitting in heaven saying, well, that's too bad. That was your only choice, your only option. Too late now. He's not doing that. That's not who he is. Thank the Lord for that. And then there's disobedience. Not the accidental kind, but the kind where you're disobeying. You felt it clearly, but you still chose to ignore and disobey. And now there's like whispers saying you delayed your destiny because of that disobedience, because you said no to that conviction. You delayed your destiny. You ruined what God had planned for you. But, God will keep seeking you. He will keep waiting for you with open arms. And that's what I learned. Conviction is to draw us closer to him, not to push us away. And no matter how much we ignore those convictions and disobey him as we ignore those convictions, he's still going to be there waiting for a new conviction, for a new plan, for a new way in, back on that path, straight towards his plan. You didn't close the door on God when you said no to his conviction in the past. And, there's a fear that your mistakes have permanent consequences, that God can't or won't be there for you anymore, or won't help you out of your circumstance anymore because of the decisions you made. Like somehow you've outsinned his plan for your life. That's not it. That's not how God works. That's not who he is. In Romans 8:28, it says, God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God. Not some things, not the clean parts of your life. Everything. The ugly, the good, everything. Even the relationships you regret, even the disobedience or the missed opportunities. God doesn't waste any of it, because one of my favorite scriptures, Joel 2:25, I will give you back what you lost. I lost a lot of time. I lost a lot of time, and I know God will give that back to me somehow. I don't know how, but he will make up for the time I have lost. Like in all those decisions, bad decisions I've made, the disobedience, the compromise I've done. It's not too late. God didn't shut the door on that promise. He will give back what I lost. He's faithful. His word is the law. So I believe it. And that's a promise. God is in the business of restoration, not just fixing us, but redeeming us. Meaning, he can take the very thing that you think disqualified you from God's plan and use it as part of your calling. What the enemy meant to destroy, God can use that to bring glory to his name. I love that. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. He will show you which path to take. The long version of that is my favorite scripture. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. That scripture for me is anchored in my mind, in my heart. I try to live every decision that I make every single day to be trusting towards God with all things in my life. And notice he didn't say he showed you once. Now, good luck doing the best you can for the rest of your life. It says he will show you, period. He will show you, period. Always and forever. Present, ongoing. God is still leading you and me right now amidst our disobedience. It's not just you make one wrong step and then you fall over. It's a relationship that you have with your Creator. That relationship is not going to die just because you made one wrong move or two wrong moves or 3 or 5 or 10. He's always going to remain there to restore you, to redeem you, and to help you get back up on your feet and keep walking straight. No matter how many times you fall, you didn't miss that opportunity with God. So maybe the better question is, did I miss God's will? So maybe the question is not, did I miss God's will? It should be more like, am I willing to trust God where I am at right now? So in conclusion, you didn't ruin your life. You didn't ruin God's will for your life. Nor did I mine. You didn't surprise God with your bad decisions. You certainly did not disqualify yourself from his plan because you're still breathing. God is still working. He's more than capable of weaving every wrong turn into something meaningful. God is not finished with you, nor is he finished with me. Not even close. And the story he's writing for you, for me, it's not over. It's never over. The answer to that question for me is no, I don't feel like I miss God's will for my life. Sure, my decisions in the past has maybe caused me to fall off track, caused me to fall onto a different path, but that path will lead at the same ending from God's original plan. That I'm 100% sure. Maybe it might take a little longer. Maybe I will have to jump through obstacles. I don't know. But I do have faith, hope, trust, and joy, knowing that God has that finish line for me the same as it was 20 years ago, before I started making those bad decisions. So I trust that, and I'm hopeful, and I'm happy to know and to believe that his word is that anchor and it's the law in my life. And I hold on strong to that, and I hope you do too. If you think that you have a different answer for that, let me know what you think. I like to have a discussion. I always like to hear different opinions on different subjects. So don't hesitate to comment. And thank you for subscribing or sharing this video with someone that you think this might help. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.